It's funny how life can take a turn, sort of rail corners. Just when you think you've got it all figured out, you never know what's around the bend.
I'm Krista Rust. I'm a professional mountain bike racer, racing enduro for Stan snow tubes and Turner suspension bicycles. I had a real job as an electrical engineer for Motorola and worked on some other jobs as well for contracts, government contracts, and had a lot of fun jobs. But when I got introduced to mountain bike racing, it wasn't something you can have a full-time job based out of Georgia, where I was at the time, and travel the US and the world racing. So I took a break.
Rust's mountain bike break took her all over, once racing 32 races in 29 weeks in 9 different countries. Then she discovered enduro racing, a mix of cross-country fitness and downhill racing skills. And her life took yet another turn.
When I switched to enduro racing, I have now a domestic schedule, which a lot of it's based in the Rockies because of the peaks for enduro racing. You want the tallest peaks so that you can have the longest race runs. And so that allows us to drive to the majority of our races now.
And when Rust isn't racing, she's sharing what she's learned along the way.
And that stems from working at Motorola and being invited to go on my first mountain bike rides and chasing the guys after work and seeing them do something and trying to mimic it, and they would get it through it fine and I would slide out or wreck or go over the bars, and thinking, why didn't somebody ever explain this to me? Something as subtle as moving your hips, a little body English, where you're looking can change the dynamic on the bike. Why did I have to wreck to figure it out? And so I would tell the next person so that they didn't have to learn that way.
Today, Rust teaches what she's figured out to mountain bikers around the West.
I will go to people's local trails and then we'll go over a few techniques and they climb right up it and they look at me in disbelief and think, what, how did that just happen? Now they can go out and apply that in other scenarios and they don't need me to be there anymore.
While teaching is fulfilling, life on the road and in the saddle has its challenges. Travel, racing, negotiating contracts, training, and managing time, it's all harder than many people may think.
It's obviously fun, it's challenging in different ways, fitness, terrain, making it, logistics, making it work, money, but it's rewarding in ways that you can't measure, just in the friendships that I have everywhere and the experiences on the bike. And we don't actually get to ride as much as people think we do. A lot of it's logistics, a lot of it's sitting behind a computer and emails and working on, what can I do for a sponsor in return for some product. That's a lot more of it than getting to ride. But when you do get to ride, then it's worth it.
And for Rust, who says she's still learning new things, that ride goes a long way.
I think I like the constant challenges. I like the more technical terrain, mastering some of those and then still working on others. You never quit learning. You just get to do bigger or more difficult features. When everything's flowing and you're having that day where you feel dialed and you're dropping and cornering and everything comes together, it's a pretty cool feeling.